The mystical truths in religions East and West are brought to light again and made relevant for our time by Elizabeth Clare Prophet, world-renowned author and spiritual teacher.
Some of our black brothers are wondering where they fit in the great white brotherhood.
Doug, our black brothers and sisters are so much a part of the great white brotherhood that I just want to run up to each one that I meet and say, hey, don't you know that right within your aura there's a light, and it's a brilliant light, it's a white light of the Christ within you. And don't you really know that a long, long time ago you were a part of what was known as the blue race and the violet race, a very high civilization that existed on the continent of Africa at the same time as the continent of Lemuria. So I hope our black brothers and sisters are listening today, because I wanted to tell them about the ascended master Afra. Afra is a soul of great light who evolved on the continent of Africa and made his ascension. The ascended Master Kuthumi told us about this brother in a conference which Mark and I held in Ghana, West Africa in 1972. He explained that this one was such a humble servant of God and so one with a flame of love that he asked to be called simply a brother. Translated to the Latin, this was frater, and so a frater became the word Afra, and from his name, the name of the continent was taken. This great soul of light stands as the sponsor of the people of Africa today in their movement toward freedom and toward complete soul liberation.
Has beloved Afra ever given a dictation?
Well, recently I went to Ghana again last fall, and I held a conference there in the capital at the University of Accra. It was a conference on Ghana's destiny in the Holy Spirit, and at that conference, beloved Afra did give a dictation. It was such a wonderful experience for me to see so many of our brothers and sisters who are a part of our church in Ghana receive the message from the first ascended master who rose from the black race. He said, I am your brother, not your Lord, not your master, but I am your brother on the path. I have shared your passion for freedom. I have shared with you the hours of crisis when you beheld the injustice, when you sought the Lord and prayed to him for justice, and the Lord gave to you the divine plan for this nation and for this continent. I have lived in your hearts these hundreds and hundreds of years as you have toiled under the burden of oppression from within and without. And although many have considered the outer oppression the greater, we who are among those who have graduated from this continent consider that the only true slavery is the slavery from within, the slavery of the carnal mind and its selfishness, its failure to sacrifice upon the altar as Abraham and Isaac sacrificed. So the failure to sacrifice the beasts of the carnal mind, this is slavery. Now then, it is because some have been willing to make the sacrifice of selfishness that the outer slavery has also been broken, and it is through the evolution of the people themselves toward the light of God that has given this new opportunity in this age to this continent. I've always felt as though I have a second home in Ghana. So wonderful is the warmth of the people and the fervor of their hearts for freedom. These people understand the science of the spoken word because it is a part of their race consciousness that goes way, way back to this golden age civilization which they knew at the time of Lemuria. I'd like to have our listeners hear students of the Ascended Masters singing a song which they composed to their beloved ascended master Afra.
Afra, 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 oh say yeah. Afra, 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 oh say yeah. Afra, oh yeah. Afra, oh yeah. Afra, 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 oh say yeah. Afra, 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 oh say yeah. Afra, oh yeah. Afra, oh yeah. Afra, 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 oh say yeah. Afra, 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 oh say yeah.
What is race?
Well, in the truest sense of the word, there is in reality no such thing as the black race or the white race. Really, no one is black or white. But all of the races that we find on earth have come forth from the heart of God under the 7 rays. And these 7 rays, as we know, are paths of initiation. Those who are called the white race came forth for the mastery of the yellow, the pink, and the white flames, hence the various mixtures and tone qualities of their skin. These evolutions were intended to place upon the altar of God the gift of their self-mastery in the way of wisdom, love, and purity. The members of those who are called the black race have come forth on the blue ray and the violet ray. In this ancient civilization on the continent of Africa, these people's skin actually had a blue or a violet hue. These colors come from Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, and they are of the 1st ray and the 7th ray. And of course, it is easy to see that the yellow race and the tradition of the wisdom of China places this people of the land of Qin on the ray of wisdom, whereas the red skin, as he is known, was intended to amplify the pink flame of divine love. Individual nations also have their calling. This is the Dharma. We find, however, that down through the centuries, as man has wandered from his high estate since his departure from Eden, that the pure colors of the rainbow of God are no longer reflected either in the skin tone or in the aura. And then the division sets in, and the divide and conquer tactics of the fallen ones, and instead of embracing one another as brother and sister, there is the division in the races, where one race enslaves another race, and the great unity of all children of God, and their oneness in the flame is destroyed. The beloved ascended Master Kuthumi, who was embodied as Saint Francis, wrote a decree for brotherhood. I would like to offer it now as our gift of love for the healing of the scars and the wounds in this nation and every nation that have been caused by racial strife. In the name of the beloved, mighty, victorious presence of God, I am in me. Holy Christ selves of all earth's evolutions, beloved Jesus the Christ and Kuthumi, beloved Linello, the entire spirit of the great white brotherhood and the world mother, I decree. Out of the one thou God hast spun all of the races of men. By thy great law do thou now draw all to their God source again. Take away hate, by love abate all mankind's vicious intent. Show thy great power every hour of love and compassion God sent. I am divine love sending forth the wonderful feeling of true divine healing, unguents of light now sealing all of the schisms of men. Stop all division, by God precision, love is the hallowed law key. Ultimate peace, make all war cease. Let the children of men now go free. Stop mankind's friction, all their predictions, tearing blessed heart from heart. By God direction, produce now perfection, in thy great family one heart.
Thank you very much.
This is a presentation of the Summit Lighthouse, an international spiritual organization dedicated to universal enlightenment. Founded in 1958, the Summit Lighthouse is a beacon of truth to thousands worldwide and a leader in New Thought spirituality.